Welcome back. Nancy Pelosi, by any measure, is a historic figure within the Democratic Party, and she played an outsized role this summer in coaxing, if not pressuring, President Biden to abandon his bid for re-election. Now she's facing a primary challenge from someone who helped progressive Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC as she's known here in D.C., win her seat in Congress. Saikat Chakrabarti is looking to unseat Speaker Emerita Pelosi in California's 11th congressional district, which, as most of you may know, includes most of San Francisco. Pelosi has been in Congress since 1987 and the only woman to be elected not once, but twice as Speaker of the House. Saikat, it's great to have you with us. Why is it now that Pelosi needs to be defeated and her congressional career ended?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Nancy Pelosi has had this seat for about 20 terms now. She first got elected when I was a one-year-old baby. And, the thing that's changed is I heard her on an interview after Donald Trump got elected in 2024. And, she's no longer the Speaker of the House, but she's still got considerable sway within the caucus. And her analysis of the situation was Democrats didn't really do anything wrong. We don't need to change anything. And then I saw how she used her sway. There's this seat on the House Oversight, the Oversight Committee, the chairmanship of the Oversight Committee, where AOC was running for it. And this committee, as you know, is sort of the chief communications organ for the Democrats. It's the main body that holds the Trump administration accountable and does kind of the messaging. And whatever you think of AOC, you've got to give it to her. She's an incredible communicator. Well, Nancy Pelosi used her considerable weight to push aside AOC, and this is what the reporting was saying, and get Jerry Connolly, a kind of a loyalist to her, installed. And nothing against Jerry Connolly, I'm sure he's a nice person, but it just showed me that I don't think the Democrats really understand why people voted for Trump this time. Why did they vote for Trump in 2016? I actually believe that the people are voting for change over and over again. I think the Democrats have got to do things completely differently, both to fight Trump right now, but more than that, to pitch a kind of transformative economic agenda for the American people to vote for.
Define that transformative economic agenda in one or two points, if you could.
Yeah, well, I'll say why first, because I think that's an important part. I think for decades, both parties have been ignoring the biggest problems most people are facing. And what I mean by that is for most Americans, their wages have been stagnating or barely creeping up, while the big things you use to make a life, you buy a house, childcare to raise a family, get a good education, go to a doctor, those things have been skyrocketing. And so people just feel stuck, and people look at DC, and DC is completely stuck. DC is not tackling these big problems. So the result is people have been voting for change for over and over again. I think that was Obama in 2008. I think that was Trump in 2016, Trump again just now. People are open to the kind of change, but they just know that the business as usual is not cutting it. So what should it be? I think part of it is, a better social safety net, the kind of stuff Bernie and AOC talk about, guarantee universal health care, things like that. But beyond that, I think what we really need to be talking about is how do you do a massive investment into high-wage industries, into communities and cities all across the town to build millions of homes, to build the industries we need to build the infrastructure we need to build, to do the kind of massive economic transformation that FDR did when he built the middle class. It wasn't just a little iterative step. Through the FDR and the New Deal movement was able to beat back the right-wing movement of that time by showing that liberal democracy could actually deliver, and deliver in a huge way. It changed people's lives for decades. It built the industrial base of this country for decades, and it kept the far right from taking power again for decades as a result of that.
Saikat, I've got less than a minute. How does immigration fit into this? AOC, very hostile to ICE and federal immigration enforcement. That is a huge issue for Trump. We heard all about it last night. What is your economic or vision for immigration?
So I believe that when we're a growing country and we're a country that's actually building and doing a bunch, we should be inviting immigrants to come in legally and through safe means. That's the American system. That's how my dad came to this country. He got recruited. It's hard to imagine now, but back in the day, after we built the interstate highway system, after we sent a person on the moon, we were growing and building at such a pace. We were going around the world recruiting people to come to America to build this great country with us. And that's, in my vision, where immigration should be. So yes, we should be expanding legal immigration, but we do have to get control of the border, and we need to give people opportunities to legally and quickly and safely come to this country.
Saikat Chakrabarti, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.